Yo, what's going on? Just making a quick video discussing the proposed project restart that the Premier League is looking to possibly discover through avenues of restarting where we left off. Well, not restarting, but starting where resuming where we left off from when the Premier League was put to a standstill due to COVID-19. Now, there's many issues regarding how safe it will be, whether it's feasible, whether it's a priority. Um, there are people who are struggling out there who really need tests, and is it feasible to just give Premier League teams the alternative of just getting those tests done? Now, my thoughts are you need football is not life or death. It's not, and I think many people understand that. Many football fans understand that. There was a big discussion about it on Good Morning Britain with Piers Morgan. It's a very divisive subject, but I think that if it can be done in a way where it's safe, they should do it. They should do it. They should go ahead and do it. But it'll be very difficult to make it safe. Um, you know, two teams on a pitch. That's 22 people with all the coaching staff, with all the substitutions, um, with everything going on, plus a referee, plus all the filming crew. It'll be a stadium filled with maybe 100 people. You got to think something like that in terms of just people who have to be there. So it's not safe. Um, do they then give tests to all the players every single week for every single game? That's another thing that they could do. But no matter what happens, people are going to be pissed off. If the Premier League if the Premier League resumes, there's going to be a lot of people complaining about it, and being very angry about the decision. But um, you know, at the end of the day, it's money. I don't think that shareholders and all that are cared about the actual art of football, and just what they want: the money. They want the revenue coming in from television, and they're thinking, what can we do to do that? So Project Restart is is set to hopefully bring the games soon for them. Hopefully they hope that they will get the games soon, restart, and finish the league. But I was watching Good Morning Britain, and there was a very good point that Piers Morgan made, and that was, you know, say we do restart, right? We replace the Euros with the Premier League. To finish the Premier League, you've got to play multiple games a week, then go straight into a season, and then in 2021 then go straight into the Euros after that. Now we all know how injury crisis is a thing. It's a thing in football. It's such a demanding game on your body. Physically it's strenuous, especially for the top athletes that do it for a living. There's many injuries in football. Maybe some that aren't inflicted by other players, but just from fatigue, and that's also got to be taken into consideration, because we want to focus on COVID, the safest way to battle against it, but we also have to focus on the players' well-being outside of COVID. You know, how strenuous will it be on their body? So I thought it was a very good point, and I thought he's right. Uh, it's a case of, I think everyone wants it to start. I think everyone wants there to be a solution where magically everything will be alright. But I just don't think, personally, that's feasible right now. And if they do start it, I think they're putting a lot of people at risk, who perhaps don't need to be at risk. You know, I think the only thing you can do is what France did, is they stopped the season, but then everyone who got promoted and relegated gets promoted and relegated, and the title was given to PSG. I don't think that should happen. To relegate a team when the season hasn't finished yet would not only be is not only um, is not only heartless, it's unethical, it's unfair, and it puts teams in a very strenuous situation, especially um, when you know they just, you can't. There's so much money to be made in the Premier League. You know, I don't know what it's like in Liga. I'm guessing you get quite a bit of money getting into Liga, not as much as the Premier League, of course. But those teams being relegated, I feel for them so badly who go to Liga. Um, I don't know how many games there are in Liga, so I don't know if it's towards the end of the season anyway, and it's pretty set in stone. But I think the only thing that could be done, I think there needs to be a threshold of points. So, for example, I'm a Man United fan, okay, and I think Liverpool should get the title. Why? Because they deserve it. From the points threshold, they deserve the Premier League title. Um, there was a chance that Manchester City could keep up with them, but it would be very unlikely. And I think to award would be better to take away. I think you shouldn't take away from clubs, because of this. So, for example, giving something to someone because they deserve it, getting promoted to the Premier League, that can't happen, because to do that you'd have to take away teams from the Premier League that were in that bottom three, which is, in my opinion, unfair on them. Um, so I think the league should stay the same. I think we should restart when we can restart the league. Um, I think I don't see a way forward where you could gather, like, because you need, you probably, like I said before, you probably need 100 people in a stadium, to deal with it. Um, Maybe there's ways you could do around it. Maybe you have um, players in separate areas, 2 meters from each other, in a substitutions and coaches and that, and they all communicate like that. But it's just all the players on the pitch. It's just too close to each other, and what if a player is a high risk? Do you then say you can't play because you're high risk? There's a lot of, it's such a complicated situation, and you know, yeah, I, I, along with many people, would love to see football return. I miss watching it. I especially since Man United was on that large um, upturn. They really started to find their own. Uh, you know, it's a shame that happened when it happened, but it's just something that we've got to not be selfish about. We can't be selfish about this. It's unfair to risk lives about the Premier League. Um, the only way I see it is to void the season and leave everything the same. You cannot award, you cannot relegate, you have to void the season, you cannot relegate teams. It's just unfair, especially if you take away the finances. I think if they do relegate teams, the Premier League should be obligated to pay those teams that have been relegated the money that they deserve to be in the Premier League while they're in the Championship. It's only fair if that were to be the case, but they shouldn't be relegated. Um, it's especially if you look at the video I did talking about what's next, this next step after this pandemic, and I think it was Bournemouth who were third from bottom. Bournemouth, Watford, West Ham, all on 27 points. When the season's not over, is that fair? To relegate Bournemouth? Norwich were on 20 something points as well. They weren't far from third bottom. Is it fair on them? Is it fair on them? It's not. It's not fair on any of them. And I know it's that thing with, well, tough, life's not fair, but it's just unethical. It would be it would be honestly horrible, and I think there would be riots about it. That's the main thing I'm worried about is those teams getting relegated, because it's not only the club and in its finances and the players, but the fan base. You know, you've paid to watch your team play in the Premier League. You know, you don't you work in a fucking, I don't know. You work in a construction site. You work long hours. Your body's aching all the time, but you put money aside to watch your team play in the Premier League. You know, and you're proud of your team, and you've got this promotion, and you got this relegation scrap, but you're still going every week, and then you get a glimmer of hope. You know, the season's not over, and then it ends. The season ends, and your team's just relegated. It's it would just it would be horrible. It would be horrible. Um, Especially when money's involved, when people are, you know, they give up their livelihoods to watch their team play. That's why the whole owner situation is such a big topic in football right now with Man United. The Glazers, everyone's unhappy with them. Mike Ashley, everyone's unhappy with Mike Ashley. Blackpool with the Oysters, whatever their name is. They're really unhappy with them. They've been sucking money out of that club. You know, it's because people pay to watch that team, and they you know, they make sacrifices in their everyday life so they can go watch that team. And you're telling me it's right to take that away from them? No, it's not right, and I think that's the only way forward. But I think they should hold their decision to see if something does come up. You know, maybe strides towards a vaccine. You know, miracles can happen at the end of the day, but you know, I don't think it's right to straight away just jump into the season. And when you can't add more games on because it's too late, then you void it. I think the right thing to do would be to then void it, hand Liverpool the trophy, because it's not unfair on Man City. It's not. You know, especially since they've not played up to that standard. The insurmountable chances that Liverpool would have to lose all their remaining games. for City to catch up would be ridiculous. It's only fair, but do not relegate the teams. Bournemouth, Norwich. I'm trying to think of the other team in the bottom three, but those three teams should not be relegated. Yeah, that's the football. That's basically my thought on it. But everyone's got to do their thing. These people who run the Premier League, they're doing their jobs, trying to see what they can do. And I think a lot of them are getting hate for things they haven't even done yet. They're just talking. Nothing's been said yet. They're just talking, discussing, and that's what you've got to do. That you got to talk about it, see what can be done, what can't be done. Even if it's just even if they know the answer and they can't restart it, but it's just what's the word I'm looking for? It's just I can't think of the word. It's when you're just doing it because you all know what's going to happen, but you do it just to be. It's a courtesy. Maybe it's just a courtesy discussion that needs to happen. Just to say we've had the discussion. We all knew it was going to happen. We need to have a discussion. It's a courtesy. But yeah, everyone, stay safe. I see a lot of people outside in groups of larger than 3. Just don't be a wally. Don't be an idiot. If you see and also and this fucking winds me up, and this really drives me up the fucking wall. If I walk to the shops, okay, because we need something, hand soap, bread, whatever it is, right? And I'm purposely trying to follow the guidelines of 2 meters away. Don't be a wanker because you don't believe in fucking in social distancing and you don't believe in it. I don't care if you don't believe in it. Okay, I'm sure you don't care that I believe in it. Just have that fucking courtesy to respect other people's wishes. If you want to act like a knobhead and you want to do what you want and put yourself at risk, fuck it, go nuts. That's what you want to do. Go nuts, but don't fucking, when people are trying to do their best to keep themselves safe and that, don't be doing that to them. Because I've walked to the shops and I've had people come from behind, like joggers. They've come from behind and they've just run straight past me, like right next to me, and I'll just say, "Are you fucking stupid?" And that they usually don't say anything. They usually keep jogging because they don't hear me because they've got headphones on, or they're just like, oh. But don't be a fucking wally. If you wanna put danger to yourself, like I say, that's your choice. But respect other people. On a serious note, everyone just wants to keep safe. At the end of the day, everyone's got families. Everyone's got problems. You never know. You never know what's going to happen. So yeah. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. I hope everyone's safe. I hope all your family's safe. I hope everyone is holding strong during this isolation. It's very difficult for all of us, and we'll get through it. It's not happening right now. It's not. It seems so far away where we can go back to normality. But slowly, steadily, slowly but surely, we'll get there. Anyway, that's it from me. I'll see you guys later. Have a nice day.